Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're going to do the Clearview talk for the week. The psychic medium reading about community matters and anything about universal matters. A lot of times it boils down to politics and the antics that go on during the day, and that's all you need to know. So, right, off the bat, that is what I say is that it really shows up as a word and then a run for it and then a do for it and then a two for it to be a bay. And to be a bay is this term that's out there right now that means they are gold, they are golden, they can sever it out, they know better and they know best, and they're going to go and get it done at DUN. And I said, nope, you're not going to go and get it DUN. And that is how you have to be. And that is the mentality of what this incident is, that really is this kick up of this tick up to be the DUNE of the Bay. So when you say it, you can't even say it even harder out loud, that you can't get a DUNE. It is illegal to go up to say, you're DUNE, or put into someone else's mouth, you're a DUNE. It is so against the law and against Nuremberg. And then even what has happened in society through, the last 30 to 40 years, that you have to say, it will uprise again in the streets. But not really. We have so many policies and procedures and protocols and the ways we look into and investigate that we really nip it in the bud. So let's look at the poker cards first. What is really going on? When you see it, it really means like I said, the theme for this week was going to be you can't even get it gone. You can't even get it gone. They can't be gone because you just can't come onto someone else's energy or property or anything of that nature that you can't even see it coming. So when I look at it and I say, this is actually heinous regard, not high regard, it comes in a smooth manner to be a DONE. So when you actually say you're done, you're done, you're done, it really means that antics ensue. They really do. So let's look at this. When you see this Eight of Diamonds, it is such a clear cut all the way through the roads that you can actually max out a mark to where people of clear sound mind and clear senses can walk out and say, no, by this date, I feel, because my intuitive feeling is intact, my instinct is intact, and that I know I have a timeline to get everything DONE. So when I see it and I actually say the Six of Spades comes down and says, watch the cars, watch how everyone is behaving again, because as soon as you walk into the store and then as soon as you walk into the town hall or even up Capitol Hill steps, you really see it hard. Now, when you see the Seven of Clubs, it goes to rhetoric of politics of, yes, he put it out there, the president and the vice president, to his cabinet, to his administration. And then, us as citizens, we put it into the court to show our impedance. But this Ace of Diamonds says they know better, they know best. It's untimely. I have to get it done. Why? Because here in the state of Connecticut, we are about 11 million to almost $3 billion in deficit because of antics being run. So when I look at it and I say the Seven of Hearts truly means that you probably will qualify for any type of assistance. But then when it boils down to it and out, they're going to go right down to medical and if you're able-bodied or not, whether it shows up in the tests or not. And then you're going to say, no, because you can go out and you can get a job. Then it's to sit there and wait. That's this Seven of Hearts with the Queen of Hearts combined, where you can't get a DUNE. You can't. Like you can't sue anybody because who put it in your mouth? Who made you sick? Did you get yourself sick? It is all those questions all down to, well, it was a free will choice. You didn't pay your bill. It was your free will choice to do this. So when you see this Ace of Clubs go through and it runs back and forth through judicial, through all the entities of the agencies and say, well, I just don't understand why you can't find the paperwork. Well, for a lack of a better term, about 15 years ago, it was mandated that all flip over to electronic documentation. If it's not there, as we scanned through paperwork over hours and hours, which here, I just don't really care about that whatsoever. You couldn't even get it out fast enough. The Ace of Clubs is literally going to say they're going to run antic and get angry and run their mouth. Let them. They have the right to do it. So that is the tone all throughout the week. All throughout the week. That it is clear, it's apparent, it is relative, it is a do a done, be done with this because I can't do it again. I cannot do it again. I cannot put a due date on it. And that is the antics result. So when I see this and I say the Five of Diamonds says, absolutely not. You actually have to start measuring. From what I see as a psychic, legislature will come down the line by a February through an August and solidified in a January that you would have to be so clear, sound mind to be a conservator, to be a healthcare proxy, to anything of that sort. And like through CAT scans and MRIs tested, through cognitive exams, because that is how bad it's showing up, that their conservators are not clear, that you can't even do it. This 10 of Diamonds says, it really is. Where's the money on the table for this one? Anything goes. Anything goes. It really is truly, when it gets like this in society and in communities, it's an actual beautiful opportunity to take time and be silent in the house and stay like apart from each other a little bit. It's okay to do that once in a while, even in a big family, and say the Seven of Spades would come in and say, maybe it's a good opportunity to move out. Maybe it's a good opportunity to try something new. Maybe it's a good opportunity to try a new job. And maybe it's a good idea to go forward with it and actually maybe start a business. That's all you need to know. So when you see this Three of Hearts come in and you go through this type of what I would call mediumship, all forms of the level, that you actually are like trying to litigate and mitigate and have it all done. Sometimes people actually need a little bit of help. So when I look at this and I say this Eight of Spades will come in, and it is like a sphere, and you're going to get annoyed at some point. I swear somebody will during this week. They're chewing gum and you go, I can't even take that chewing today. I can't. Just a simple trip to Walmart will tick you off. Never mind taxes due. So I would have to say, they'd say, yeah, I'm going to get everything back. But the Two of Diamonds says ebb and flow, and ebb and flow means that you're going to literally be at this point to say, how dare you, how dare you? Like, I have to pay inheritance tax. I have to do this. Yes, that is how you know that you're not in reality that you might actually need to be out of autopilot, and that you have to literally say that there was something wrong over the last year. Excuse me. The Jack of Clubs is going to say, you know, meeting places and meeting points. I see more community watches talked about. I hear more at like a glance and a stake claim proper. I'm seeing more of this 5 of clubs come in and say, this is really disturbing on how it happened and played out. And as I'm watching the news, like we all do, or read the newspaper or scroll through our phones, we say, here we go, here we go. It happened again. But at the same time, too, antics is matter. So back in 1991, antics is matter was a juxtapose of a jurisdiction to be a DONE, to have it all done while written out. And when it was written out, you had to be done with your work by a certain time on a shift, unbeknownst. In law enforcement and legal and everything down to healthcare, because me as a nurse, even 14 years ago, I had to have it done, handwritten documentation by 8 p.m. with medications administered to 30 to 60 people in 6 hours. So when that happened, you couldn't understand how quick and how bad a mistake can play out, because it's a continuance on. So when I see the 7 of diamonds, it really is gold. It's gold. So let's look at another deck and see what else is going on, because I definitely hear and feel the rise, and I feel the antic like rise up and push through, but you can't do. So when I see this, I say everyone just starts watching again. They just watch, just out of habit. Those who grew up around this time frame of what they're doing, what I see and hear on a daily, you literally got to watch them every day. Of a trip up, of a kick up, of a tick up, of a fall to their gate. All right, so now I only have the 2 cards. That's all that wants to come out. It really is the 10 of Wands. They're trying to like alleviate a burden. That's all. That's normal. But this 3 of Wands is like they foresaw it. And I have to say, you didn't foresee this. Otherwise, you actually would have prepared. That means it was fated. So it means it kicked up so hard that you made it a free will decision. You made a bad decision. And here it is. Or maybe it hit you too hard also. So let's look a little bit harder. There it is. So when I see it and I hear it and I feel it, it's the Page of Cups in reverse. Like these like young offers on the table when they walk in and they get together with friends and family and say, I got this. It goes, here it is, 7 of Wands. You couldn't even take out the dog. That is actually one of the issues that where I live in this general area of like about 30 miles, within 30 miles, people have a hard time hearing that people cannot go outside safely and play. But they're following policy, procedure, and protocol and everything in all these agencies, even to the time to they walk out. So, it comes to this this give and take and this question, and it goes, where is the dishonor? So is it a kick up or a tick up, or is it a little bit of a fight and still a bit of a war since 1998? So you can see how this energy actually flows and where it truly is. Because when I try and I look, I'm like, I need to pull out the Black Obsidian runes to get this done. That you can't even do. Can't even do. Right now, it has to do with wealth. And wealth is relative. Wealth is perceptive. Wealth is everything and anything is something, nothing that we can know as it's tangible also. And it's about collecting wealth. And when I do this and I go, you can't even see it coming, it has to do where this growth of this warrior comes in. And you have to say, I have to say it in through rhetoric. And then I also have to hear that it comes in harder when you're out and about, that you can't even do it right now at all. When I see this, it is a continuance on to almost where it gives you an ulcer on how it plays out when you get a piece of mail and it says, you, per the general statutes, owe $25 a day because you didn't get this DONE. But also, too, there was no follow through. So what do? Take it to court. So then you got to pay those fees. So then it goes to instinct and intuition. It goes, don't even do it. Just don't even do it. Don't even go there. When you see this and you say Nadis, it really means even at night, NITE to NIGHT, all forms of the meaning and the spelling. It goes to like being so solid that you can't even work. You can't even work, which is really, really hard. So when you look at it and it's faded, but then you say, no, this was ill-fated, who was controlling the box? It really was a gift. It really was a gift. So when you see it and you say Hagal, and you go, where's this havoc coming through? I can't even believe it because it came in strong. Can't even do. Canoe, and that's actually how I'm seeing it as a psychic, is someone going, yeah, no, can't do it. Canoe, it really means like a vision of a torch. It like a pass it on, a pass it by, to where it will actually snuff something out. So when I see it come through and I actually say it gives power, but only on a 24, no more than a 49 to a 33 bay, BE to BAI, you can't even make it up. You can't even make it up. Perso, hidden. It is a hidden game. It's still out there. It's always going to be out there. So where are your games? And you go, where is this? Where is this community matter? It kicked up and ticked up after MS-13 came through, after Epstein, after dignitaries came in. And then after it all came through that you just couldn't even do, and you can't even nix it, and you can't even do it, and you can't even boo it, and you can't even sue it. So when you actually look through it, man, it like flowed through so hard that you can't even do. So when I actually go through it and you go, you can't even come in here and actually do a right of turn. Degas truly means that you can't even sue anyone on a right-of-way passage. So when you actually go through it and it goes living, and you go, what does this mean? Wait until you get your taxes back. That's what I'm seeing as a psychic. Wait until it actually comes through on like penalties or fees or fines or court or fees or anything that matter that's so like common, up to walking into what you call the town hall or city hall, where you say it really is highly defensive. highly defensive, to the point of grace and a point of lying. Like you can't even have any like state of grace or like any like towing the line to have anything done because it causes such a freeze. You can't do. You just can't do. When you actually look at birch and you actually look at Berkana and you actually look at birth, it's the way that the wind blows. That's what I want you to say. The way the wind blows through the wind currents is the way that people change from day to day. And that is how it's going to be for the next week. It truly is. They caught wind and they literally ran with it. Here we go. Let's do another deck. Pleiadian Oracle. All you need to know is that when it comes throughout your day, nothing is pure. Nothing is pure to get anything done. And anything done on a run, like you're doing your errands and you go to the grocery store and you're like, I literally got to use this meat within 3 days. Otherwise, it's going to spoil, even if I put it in the freezer. So when I look at it and I say, where is this sacred union? Where is these partnerships? Why is like agriculture worried about the way cattle is? When I see this and I see universal heart, there was something that played out and played through from the Middle East that you couldn't hear, but it has been heard before, no pun intended, that really is the gift of all gifts when it says, I've got beef with them. So when you actually boil it down and you see planetary guardian, for a lack of a better term, you go right to the USDA and you literally go to the Department of Agriculture. You go through everything and you say, we heard about this. We literally heard about this. And you can't even do a DUNE on it because as the news has put back into play, that even Representative Nancy Pelosi has talked about how these tariffs would come in because it was already into play. It's just a continuance on. We're just seeing it. That's why when we say, oh my God, there's so much passion, it's really nothing new, but do take a chance on something new to see if it will cut away and cut down and boil down and settle. Because when you look at it, you probably are going to go right into star royalty because you figured it out and you'll be forgiven. So all you need to know is just as opposed and just pause and get it DONE. Because when you look at it and you say star family, it really means those who are even around you in energy can pick up if you've done it or not. So the importance of follow through actually comes through. And it becomes like a tit for a tat in a house of how they have to get it all done, that we're all on the same page. And it goes, no, it was DONE, the one who has been conserving and running the family. It was DONE. Why do you have to keep asking the questions? So when you see it, they say, I'm sorry, but we're still healing from a lot of things. It really goes to show there's no faith. There's no faith. So put them in their place legally and lawfully and respectfully. So when you see it and you go, you really got to tone it down. This is how it literally is going to play out. You're going to see it right in the community, right in your base. That's what I'm saying. I'm just giving you pre-warnings. Quantum heart, they literally regenerate whatever they're doing. When you see Marove, you go, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to get it DONE. So when I see it, Marop actually means guiding light. Whatever you see and hear and feel, and you're like, this really aligns with me and what has been happening with me, that's what you got to run with. It is that energy that you need to watch. When I see this energy of rooted light, it just means how it plays out throughout the week. That's all it means. Here we go. Now, as political, we have Prime Minister Netanyahu here in the United States, which is fine. That's not illegal. Not illegal. It has happened. What is illegal, if it occurs, is what they talk about, even behind closed doors. That is what got President Nixon in trouble with Watergate. So when you look at Lantern, you have to say it really is like a reminisce. Everyone is highly devoted because we don't want a second chance. When you see apple, it is hunger and senses to strike at the punch, but it's highly guarded. This wall means highly guarded. Just be careful, especially when it comes to ancient past and lore and how it's played out. You really got to pace yourself toward the end of the week and you'll feel better, especially with what I see what will happen with like chatter in small communities up through the cities because of dignitary and diplomatic presences. So when you see it and you go, see, I told you, it's right here, it's right here. You look at white dress and you go, it really is marriage, but it really is not at the same time. But this noose is not actually what it means. It means give it a chance and just watch it play out. Meetings. Don't worry about it. It's okay. So when I see it, it's meant to be a mystery, so don't worry. Humanity, human nature to dig, especially when we have the Freedom of Information Act. When you see the tree, you go, you can't even believe how hard it was to get this done, especially when it's rooted. It's all about the soul. The soul truly commands the body on what it needs to do. Up through this like whole thing is about grotesque humor. That's all you need to know. One last look on what we need to know. Here we go. What we need to know. What you need to know is about go about orders. What you need to know is like a stay by and standby orders. What you need to know is also go by a green light and be a bay. You basically got to watch your eye out. You got to watch. You can't even see it. So when I see it, actual separations, this Lover's card in reverse means separations, all meanings of what it could be. To actual like happy family. To actual happy family. So when I see this and I go, holy cow, because of the way it played out and decisions made, that people actually are looking at their family members and friends and say, I am like nearly bankrupt because you made that decision. And it was almost teamwork. And then you go right down to your entities of where you need to file and you have this rush of emotions. And they're like, you made a choice and that's all you can do. Solitude, severe isolations at times, to hard pauses, but alleviation of difficulty. It will make no sense, but it will make sense when you actually see it. So monetary balances to energy balances, absolutely. It's going to hurt. But when you look at it and you say, this really is not something that has to be done. That has to be done. There really can't be a victory at times, but it's all perception. That's all it is. Walking away, this Eight of Cups truly means there is a walking away that has to be done in many areas to make it work, and it's okay. So, Page of Cups, it's now upright. It's good. This energy is good. It's going to play out throughout the week. People will make decisions based on how it plays out, and that's all you need to know. So, with that being said, any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share, an email. It's greatly appreciated, and we will talk to you soon.